All right, excited to go play again this Saturday. I got a chance to go play a team in Virginia that's really playing their best football right now in the last 2-3 football games. They're playing with a lot of confidence as a team, and I think I said on Tuesday they've got, I believe it's four losses by a total of 10 points, and had double-digit leads in 3 of those games. And so there's a lot of similarities in football teams, outside of one-loss records. So you look at a team that's playing with a lot of confidence on tape. For 2 weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks now, we've had crossover film and seeing them play. So for 3 weeks, you've seen the development of this team and the confidence growing week in and week out, and really understanding who they are as a full team and how they play complementary football in all 3 phases. Really with that, offensively, they're getting into really the rhythm of who they are as an offense. And they're playing with good tempo and running tempo plays, but at the same time, I think they're top 10, top 20 in the country in time of possession. So they're doing both. They're able to play with tempo as well as control the clock within the game. And really offensively, when you look at them, you got to look really at the number 4 wide receiver. I think he's one of the tops in the ACC and tops in the country in catches. Good player. They do a lot of different things with him. Whether it be screens or RPOs or quick game, and he's a guy that can catch it short and run long. So he's a dangerous player. And then the guy that is really the bell cow for that offense is number 20, the running back. And I just so much respect for him, so much respect for that football team. What he's been able to accomplish after going through what he's gone through and that team has gone through. He is and as he should be, a true inspiration for all of college football across the country and really the whole United States. I mean, this is a guy that's been through a lot. The team's been through a lot with him, and the way he's coming out and playing now and putting that team on his back in a lot of instances when they need it in short yardage situations and down in the tight red area in those situations. Defensively, they're a team again that's for 2 years now. You've seen the growth in this team defensively of who they are, what they're doing. Really, all 3 levels of the defense from the front end, for the defensive line. They're big, they're stout, they're strong. They mix up things in the front where they'll mix in some 2-gap techniques and then play 4 or 5 different fronts within normal down situations, and then get into some exotics on 3rd down and try to beat your protection. So on the back end, they mix their coverages up. They'll play zone and keep things in front of them, and then mix in the man and make you have to beat them with man coverage, and mix in some different variations of cover 2 and support the run from the outside in. So it will be a big challenge for us in all 3 phases. Defensively, again, number 20 on defense, their safety. I mean, he is what you look for in a safety now. I mean, he's 6'1", 210 pounds. He is a heat-seeking missile. I think he leads the conference in solo tackles. He's a surefire tackler, whether it be on a receiver, whether it be on a running back. How they use him in support. He's all over the field. It's hard to get a hat on in the run game blocking by the way they use him and insert him into the box. But he's a dang good football player. And like I said, they're big and stout up front. They do a good job, flat walling the line of scrimmage. They're not a team that's going to get a bunch of negative plays and penetrate, but they're going to keep everything in front of them and let those linebackers and DBs come in and make the plays. So, again, a solid football team that's playing better and better and playing with a lot of confidence right now, and look forward to going up there and playing at 2 o'clock on Saturday.
It seemed like looking back from the last game, there were some alignment issues that led to a couple of the touchdowns that North Carolina got. And
it's Thursday.
No, I get that. What I'm asking is, I guess, was it play?
You were here. You were able to ask your questions on Tuesday.
No, but
No, I'm with you. I'm kidding, man.
no.
It's Thursday.
Was it just getting calls in? Guys are not getting lined up. Is there anything in particular you're seeing when something like that happens? When you have a bust or guys not aligned?
We come in and we watch the film. You think you have a good idea coming off the field of those things. And you come in, you're detailed on the film. You see the film. You see what it is. I mean, actually, we got aligned a lot quicker, in the game on Saturday. But then relative to the opponent you're playing, they played with a lot of tempo. We'll face tempo again this week. The plays there were some of the alignments that were, some of the tempo plays where maybe the call got in, and then we ended up changing the mechanics of, we've got three different ways to signal plays in on defense, and at halftime we made a switch on the how we're signaling things in and getting the calls in. So that's part of the adjusting, adapting in the game.
You mentioned time of possession. Do you bring that up to the defense? Like, hey, they're going to bleed the clock, hang in there. Does it affect your substitution patterns at all?
No. They're very unique in the way they do it. It's not a true bleed the clock huddle operation. They'll come in and hit you with 3 plays in a row, snapping the ball at 32 seconds. So, and you don't really, there's not a true pattern of when they come. Then they'll slow it down. They'll do some wristband calls. They'll huddle some. So they mix and match the way they play their tempo and the way they're able to get the time of possession. So it doesn't factor into the subbing when the time of possession part of it. Really, subbing is personnel based, and this team is they're not as many personnel groupings as some. When you go to subs, there's really 2 types. There's this, if you play the same guys on the field all the time, guys are going to sub the defensive lineman in, ever how they feel needed per team, what the plan is. But then there's match defenses that want to match personnel and get the right guys on the field, just try to get bigger bodies in with bigger bodies on offense to match up the correct ways. And then, you can play out calls with the same personnel in. So trying to get the right matchups in based on personnel is the way we've gone about it. This week there are not as many personnel groupings, so now they could come out and be in 10 different ones come Saturday. So you got to be able to plan it, and we've spent a lot of time the last 2 weeks on substitutions defensively, all varying kinds of different people in the field coming off, having to come off. So that's been a major point of emphasis.
Right. You talked about watching film, and it seemed like offensively some of the big plays you got were based on what you saw from your opponent's defenses. How much film do you watch in a week?
Was the last question to cover up the fact that this is Thursday?
Yeah.
So how much film did I watch on UVA?
Yeah.
A lot. I don't know time at all. I know when I finish at night watching tape. Different times I do a lot. I start out watching every game continuous from start to finish in the season. Then I watch all the special teams, and I watch all of the offense, and I watch, their defense, and I watch. Then Tuesday, I flip and watch defense, their offense. Then you got film of previous week's situations I've talked about before. 3 or 4 hours of that on a Wednesday. I don't know. I'd be lying if I tried to guess. That's a good question, though. 30? I don't know.
But, it's led to what you've been able to do offensively. It seems like you've been pretty successful with what you saw on film. It's led to what you've done in the game.
Yeah, and then it's about adjustments within the game with how they switch and change. And wish I had a photographic memory. I'd watch it once and just know exactly what was going on.
Last week you guys moved DJ over to defensive back for the game, and just curious what led to that decision and kind of what are your expectations?
Yeah, you're trying to see position versatility in guys that can play other spots. To find the best people on our roster in the best places they can be in. And, he was not, he got hurt earlier in the year and missed some time with his wrist. And, coming back, some other guys had, really kind of established themselves. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, I kind of floated it to him. And on our Thursday developmental practices, he, taken a couple of plays. And then he came up to me afterwards and said he'd love to do it and get a chance to do it and work at it. I mean, I think out there today there was about 10 guys we looked at different positions. But I think he's got I think a couple of weeks ago when we moved him, and he said every time he intercepted the ball, he tried or caught the ball, he tried to run the wrong way. So he's got to flip the muscle memory in his head.
Hear me out, because this is about the North Carolina game, but just hear me out. Yeah, I know, but just hear me out. Defense only allowed 15 rushing yards in the fourth quarter. Was there something that changed there, and how can you, sort of take that into the Virginia game?
Moving forward in the Virginia game,
right,
we've got to continue to play complementary football that will allow us to be successful in all three phases.
Did you guys make any changes with the rush defense late in that UNC game that will translate to this week?
We ran the ball on offense. I mean, look at the possessions. That's a big part of it. You force people to play single-handed. When you get in a certain rhythm in the game and there's only so many possessions in a football game, and in the fourth quarter, those possessions start to time themselves out. So, you start to force one team to play different than they want to play.
Anything else? Kelly?
Obviously, some weird history playing games in Charlottesville.
Has zero impact on this week.
No, but I imagine, is that one of those things that's just like that's in fans' minds?
Imagine as in imagination.
Yeah.
Like Disney World's imagination. The wonderful world of Disney. The engineers aren't engineers, they're Imagineers, right? Is it Imagineers?
Yeah, I think
It's Imagineers. Yeah. Has zero impact on this week. The only thing that affects this week is the way we prepare and the way we go out and play the game for 60 minutes on Saturday.
right before we wrap this up.
The kickoff game, you made a change towards the end. Will Gavin be going back to kicking off again this week?
We'll see when we get to the game on Saturday, but we're going to play the best players always.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.